Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be for you. And welcome back to part 3 of our super detailed DayZ beginner guide talk through for beginners. As you can see, morning has broken. Took a little bit of a break IRL to wait for the night time to pass because it's not something I mind doing, creeping around in the dark, but it doesn't make for the best viewing experience. And we're now going to creep our way out of town. Remember, we left off opposite the PD and Kammy Shovo, and I am going to show you a map when we get somewhere safe to show our progression so far. I just wanted to check this quickly. The hatchet's no good, it's badly damaged. We're going to leave. The coast is over there on our right still. And if we hug the train tracks, I'm going to first of all show you, there's nothing else really in town we want to loot for. I'm really disappointed we haven't found a replacement jacket yet for our hoodie, which is ruined, but I want to leave town. We're going to head on our way and we're going to get to a safe spot that doubles up as a really nice place for some low-key fishing. If that's what you need to do, want to do. There was something dead in the road there. I don't know if it was a player or a zombie, but I'm on guard. Pretty sure I saw something. Remember I told you Kammy Shovo is a bit of a hot spot for fresh spawns. So head on a swivel when you're in Kammy. We're keeping into the trees so that we're not standing out like a sore thumb on the train tracks. Maybe a little bit of cover. There you can see the coast. So we're keeping the coast on our right hand side, and I'll show you this little fishing spot. And I'll also show you how you can cook in the open using an improvised cooking stand. To do that, you need a cooking pot, and we found a cooking pot in the last episode, so job's a good one. We won't actually be cooking, but I'll show you how to make one. We've shown you how to make a fireplace already. I'm not sure if I've made one out in the open though, so we'll do that. We just won't light it. We haven't got matches, a lighter or a flare, so at the moment we would have to make a hand drill kit to ignite our fire, so I'll show you how to do that as well. And it will just kill a few minutes so that it really turns nice and bright before we go to our next destination. One of my favourite places to loot on Chernarus is that island over there. You can just make out a radio tower silhouetted against the morning sky, and that is Skalisty Island. You will need to swim to go over there, so you'll need to wring out your clothes when you get to the other side. Here's our little fishing spot. But over on Skalisty Island, you can get some nice hunting gear, clothing, rifles, blades, ammunition, shotguns. So for me, if I'm in this vicinity and I've got enough food on me, my vital stats are looking good, I'll usually take the time to go over there. And I thought it would make for a nice video. If you're new to Chernarus and you want to get some nice early game gear, I think it's worth diverting over to Skalisty. So I have quite often fished by here. I've crept down here, gone under the tree. I've done my fishing by here. You'd have to be really unlucky to be run up on by somebody. Once my fishing is done, and I've got a cooking pot on me, job's a good one. Now you've got a couple of choices. You're going to need to make a fireplace either way, so we do that first. I come up here, it's not flat ground, but it's okay. You probably will get spotted. Your smoke will rise up higher. If someone's paying attention, they'll see the smoke, but to be honest, a lot of people in DayZ have got so much tunnel vision, you might get away with it. We've got some rags on us, so I'm right-clicking with my mouse to break down a stack. If you keep right-clicking, it'll break it down. See? 2 becomes 1. Put it back on. We've got 5 again. Use that one rag. It's damp. Okay, so ignore everything I just said. We're going to get some kindling. We get kindling by... Where's our... No, there it is. Yeah, it's damaged. Just walk up to a tree with a knife in your hand. It'll say, gather bark. Grab one piece. Are our gloves wet? No, they're not. So this bark should remain dry. And if we can remember where we left our sticks, that would be good. There they are. Drag the sticks onto the bark and it will say craft, fireplace. Hold the left button down on the mouse. There's your fireplace. Okay. Put the 2 sticks there on the fuel. You've got 3 sticks. You might need more. You might need more sticks, but we're just going to leave it at that for now. So there's your fireplace. You could light that fire, get another long stick, combine it with a blade, and you will sharpen the stick. And then you will be able to cook your fish holding the stick over the fire. But it puts you locked in an animation, if that makes sense. Okay? And if anybody creeps up on you, it takes a few seconds to get on your feet and in a position to be able to defend yourself. That's not great. We haven't got a melee weapon anymore. He says. He's got the pipe, so we're going to use that for now. I want to do something else, though. We could use this. We could sharpen it with the blade, and once the fire is lit, it will give you an option to roast the food, and you can just sit there, but you can't protect yourself very well. So I'm going to drop this long stick there by our fireplace. We're going to need a couple more long sticks. We're in danger of losing our blade, but we have got 2 bones on us we can make into a bone knife, so I'm not panicking yet about the lack of knives. Here's another long stick. The unfortunate thing is we've got 2 items on our back, so we can only carry the long stick in our hand, but we're pretty safe by here unless someone has been following us and is tracking us. So what have we got over here by the fireplace? If we've got a cooking pot, this is what we want to do. We want to break down this long stick into 3 short sticks by holding left button while the long stick is in our hand. And then we drag over the long stick and you get an option to craft a cooking stand. You can find actual metal cooking stands. They're a bit cumbersome to carry though. I'd rather make my own improvised one with a long stick and 3 short sticks. There it is. It leaves us a spare stick for fuel. And I can now drag that onto this section there. And I could imagine we had our chicken or our fish we wanted to cook. I'm not going to do it now. But if you did light your fire, you drag that onto there. Look at that. How sweet does that look? It's glitched into the ground. It's DayZ at the end of the day. If that was stood up upright, it looks great. But what you can do is you can get your gun out and you can defend yourself now while your fish or your chicken or your deer or whatever it is cooking in your pot. And when it's done, you just take your pot off. Thank you very much. You're on your way. So if I've got a cooking pot on me, I would always prefer to do the cooking stand because I can defend myself while I'm cooking the food. We're going to leave, though. I just wanted to show you that. The hand drill kit, because we didn't have anything to light the fire with, we would have needed another short stick, 1 short stick. You combine it with 1 piece of bark from a tree, and then you scroll down twice on your mouse wheel, and it will give you an option to craft hand drill kit, and then you can use that to ignite your fire if you haven't got any matches, lighter or flare. So one short stick, 1 piece of bark, job's a good one. We're leaving. We're keeping an eye out to make sure nobody's tracking us. There's a spawn point over here, so a fresh player could spawn in right on the beach and again think, ooh, there's a guy there with some nice free early loot for me, and try and punch your face in. So we're on guard. We're heading to Skalisty. You've got a couple of options of where to swim from. I'm going to show you my favourite way of getting over to the island. Again, it's killing a bit of time, so as dawn is breaking, this is only going to get brighter for you now. I know the first sort of 10 minutes, 15 minutes of this video, little bit gloomy, but that's just because we logged back in at 5 AM, and it's going to take a little while for it to get nice and bright. But if you hug the coast, you're going to go past a few more fishing boats, and we might get lucky with some more hooks or some flares to light a fire quicker. You can get cans of soda, cans of food. You can get big, bright, dry bags to put on your back. They will make you stand out like a sore thumb, but especially if you're about to swim in DayZ, You might want to protect matches, rags, other things you want to keep dry. So the big dry bags, not the ones we found in part 2, are available on these fishing boats sometimes. When we get over to the other side, that's where I'm going to bring up a map. I keep mentioning it. Personally, if I were you, I would like to learn the map generically. Learn your landmarks, learn from experience. Oh, I remember where I was when I died here. This is how I got here, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to use I survive to figure out where you are, or for the purposes of this video, to figure out where I have been, where we started, and where we're going to now, I thought we would show that today. We haven't got very lucky on the boats yet. You can get a police crash convoy on this road as well, which is why I was scanning ahead and looking up the road, which can give you all sorts of good loot if you're lucky to see one. You will see a couple of yellow and white police cars. There will usually be 5 or 6 police zombies and prisoner zombies around them you need to kill. They can drop ammo, flares, magazines, and you can pick up SSGs, Pioneer or Scout rifles, pistols. It can be really nice early life. We're just finding these small dry bags rather than the big dry bags. I mean, you could put your matches in one of them, hold it in your hand, and it will still allow you to swim. If you wanted a temporary measure, a way of protecting matches, for example. Well, we haven't got any to protect anyway, so we're just chugging on. I was wondering why are my rags damp? It's because we've still got 32% of water in the pot. So a bit of a schoolboy error there. I should have drunk all of my water or taken the rags out before I filled up my pot, but we learn from these things. Nothing on these boats. Okay. Oh, there you go. Fishing rod with a pristine hook. Nice. See this little wooden jetty? Use this for your reference, right? From where we're going to start our swim to Skalisty Island. There are some houses over there. 2 houses, a few sheds. So beware. There could be someone lurking around. So I'm aligning myself up with this, and I'm looking across. See those group of rocks there to the right? There's a few bits of rock. The one furthest to the right there, almost parallel to the radio tower, we're going to swim. We're holding down shift as if we're sprinting. It's going to make us do the front crawl, which is the quickest way of swimming. And watch our temperature plummet now from light blue probably to dark blue soon, maybe even flashing. Because this is probably one of the worst times of day to swim. Early morning, night time, it's cold. Our clothing is not great, so we're going to be in survival mode probably when we get to the other side, but it gives me a little challenge. I'm breaststroking until the stamina bar refills, and now I'm going to hold down the shift key again. As if I was sprinting on land, I will now go back into front crawl, swim faster. And why am I aiming for the rocks? Because I can get out of the water when I get to these rocks. It's a little bit fiddly, but it will work. And it will regenerate my stamina quicker than what it does in the water. Catch my breath and go again. Dark blue, we're losing health. Have a look on the right-hand side. So you do pay a price for coming across here, but I'm hoping it's going to be worth it in the long run in terms of the loot we get. Be wary though, if you reach flashing dark blue temperature, you're only around 6 minutes away from death. So you may want to do this when you've got some better insulated clothing than I've got on at the moment, particularly as I've got a ruined hoodie. This is a little bit silly. See, I'm going over to this little bit of land, if you like, by here, just under the water, waiting for my stamina to refill, then I'm aiming for this group of rocks. That's going to be our second part of our swim. Once we get to these rocks, we're only going to be in the water for another minute the other side. And then we're on dry land again. We are on Skalisty Island. We're going to wring out our clothing immediately, but not our hoodie. Because remember, if we take the hoodie off because it's ruined, we won't be able to put it back on. But everything else that we can wring out, our gloves and our pants and our face covering, we're going to wring out the water, which will help our temperature immediately. We can't wring out the hockey helmet, that will stay damp, soaking. But the plan is to improve, if not all, most of our clothing just from this island. And if you've never been across here before, I'm going to show you my favourite way of looting everything that's worth looting on Skalisty Island. I basically do it in a clockwise motion. But let's just worry about getting over the other side first. I'm aiming for the lowest part of the rocks, because then our character will drag themselves up out of the water easier than if you aim at a really high clump of rocks. Right, let's just get onto these. See, your character will stand up eventually. Look how close we are to the shore now. I'm looking. Has anyone got a fire on the beach, drying off their clothing because they've just done the same swim as us? Is anybody following us? Can't see that. So we're just going to do the last leg of the swim. And then I'm not going to just stand here like a sitting duck on the beach. There's people with a scoped rifle who will be able to see us quite easily. So I'm going to move up into the trees a little bit, get some cover. Alright, we're out. Can't see anyone along the beach. I'm sprinting. We haven't lost any health. We've got lucky in that respect. And I'm looking for one of these biggish fir trees. And I'm going to get in the tree, just behind the trunk. And I'm going to remember, for the life of me, do not take off the hoodie. Otherwise we lose. We can carry it in our hands, but that would be really inconvenient. We're light blue temperature already, which will mean our health will start regenerating. We only lost a small percentage. There you go. The arrow is going back up. And all I'm doing is putting the item of wet clothing in my hand. And it will give you a prompt to wring out your clothing. Hold down the corresponding button, which is left button on the mouse and keyboard. Put the clothing back on. Same with the improvised hand wraps. Hold down left button. And you'll usually have to go through a minimum 2 rotations of the wheel that you're looking at in the middle of the screen before the item of clothing goes from soaking to damp. Some military clothing and hunting clothing, you only have to go through 1 rotation of the wheel to get the same effect. So that's very convenient, very nice. But this isn't a game where we rush DayZ, so take the time to wring out your clothing. It'll save your life. If you run around with soaking clothes, you'll stay cold, funny enough. We're going to stay relatively cold, but we won't be on the brink of hypothermia and death. So we're wringing out what we can. I know from experience, we can't wring out shoes, we can't wring out the bag, we can't wring out the helmet. It has to stay damp, drenched. They're damaged as well, our shoes, so we're on the lookout for some new shoes. And I aim for this castle. See the castle through the trees? That's the first thing we're going to loot. There's nothing worth looting on the left-hand side of the island. So keep that in mind. It's a good place to go fishing, because nobody bothers going there usually, because there's nothing to loot. So if you're coming over here and you're hungry, you want to catch a fish, go over to that left-hand side, slightly around. You should be safe. Fishing and cooking on the shore. You'd have to be very unlucky for someone to roll up on you. But we've got a gun out ready, because this is a place where people will want to come, get some potentially good loot, hug the wall of the castle, and as soon as you see the shop, there it is, you can just see the roof. Now zombies can spawn in here, right? So be careful. We might shoot them, we got the suppressor. We got tons of ammo. Right, so this is really the first place you want to loot. This little taco shop, people will call this, or convenience stand. I always just call it taco stand. I don't know why, I've heard someone use that phrase and it's stuck. Jeans, good, but do you know what? I might take them just because at the moment we're not holding out a lot. We're not holding on to a ton of extra loot, so we can take them. They're dry. And then I'm tabbing in, look at that, immediately a box of ammo you can use for a Mosin. The rider jacket is badly damaged, 20 slots, more than the hoodie. The hoodie is ruined, we're swapping. Now this is sometimes what DayZ will do. It will glitch the item of clothing you take out, and you're like, where's my, it's not showing up in the vicinity. Look at it, take it into your hands, hold down F on the keyboard. Now you can transfer your loot from what was in the ruined item of clothing or whatever you're switching out. And I'm just going to do this quickly. You can sort your loot how you want to. There is a piece of fish. Where is it? Oh, no, it isn't. And there's a chicken there. We're just going to fill that up so it's using all of it. Put our ammo up there. Let's eat this fish as we're going around. Get it off the inventory. I should be practicing what I preach. It's taking up valuable space. It's better off being in our belly. Same for the 36% of water we've got. There's another thing you want to look out for, that pub. If you see smoke coming out of that, someone's having a fire to dry off or cook some fish. Most people will call that the wooden log cabin or wooden pub. Oh, there's a zombie. I didn't see him. We've got a suppressor, so we might as well use it. It's a little bit fiddly, the IJ, with the suppressor on it. The iron sight gets obscured. I'm not going to bother looting him. I'm just putting him down. Let's drink the water. I mean, it's not the safest spot to be doing this. I should be tucked away round in the corner there. We're just going to do it. Fast and loose. Do as I say, not as I do. A little bit blasé sometimes. Nothing spawns around here, okay? So from that taco stand back there, the next thing I'm going to loot, I can hear the zombie through there, are these stairs, wooden stairs. See them? Oh, zombie has clocked us. Rather than shoot him, I'm just going to use the pipe now. Remember the old block? 1 power hit to the head, 2 power hits to the head, a soft strike, and I'm always keeping my distance. I'm moving backwards in between strikes, and the zombie will miss. And look at that. Damaged, but useful. Stone knife. Okay, so when you go to these, nothing spawns underneath them. First thing you're looking for is that middle platform. And the loot can be a little bit fiddly to see. Look at that, shotgun, buckshot. So I always tab into my inventory, see if I've missed anything. The shotgun shells are really nice if we can find a shotty. Green slugs will just shoot in a straight line as literally one projectile. The red slugs are buckshot, so they fire out numerous buckshot projectiles, and you've got a much better chance of landing that killer shot from a hip fire, which is good if you're absolutely useless at aiming like I am. So I prefer red slugs. The green slugs will give you more range though. So if you're a bit more proficient, you're hunting an animal from a bit of distance, green slugs are very, very good. Can be a bit unpredictable, the shotguns on DayZ, but we're not going to get into that too much. I'm thinking bullets for our IJ again. I'm thinking that school bag might have spawned here, but it's more likely, because we're on Skalisty Island, that it would be a hunting bag that would spawn, and someone might have picked that up and dropped their old school bag. So I'm keeping on edge a little bit. I tell you what I forgot to do though, is show you the map. So I'm going to an area where there is no loot, okay? And if somebody walks up to me here now and kills me, I'm going to be very unlucky. But I'm going to take a chance. So bear with me as I put the Be Right Back screen on. I'm tabbing out of the game. I'm going to bring up the map of Chinaris, and then I'm going to share my desktop picture with you. And this is what you see when you type in iSurvive, www.isurvive.com. You get the map of Chinaris. You can find the other maps as well, Livonia, etc. But we spawned here. Now, Electro Zavots. That's why everyone just calls it Electro for short. Okay. We had the gunfight around the PD in Electro. All right, so if I scan back out again, there it is. There's the police station. That's the apartment next to that is where we had the gunfight. So let me zoom out a bit. We spawned in Electro. We looted up. We had a gunfight. Excuse the adverts. We walked along then, and I climbed up a crane in this dockland area, to heal up. I said that'll be a nice island if you want to do some low-key fishing. We walked along the beach and we went over to this island. This is where we actually cooked up and did our fishing. And then we went to Kammy Shovo, or Kammy Shit Show, and we looted up and we logged out at the end of part 2. We walked up here. I showed you my sweet little fishing spot here. And then we walked up to these boats along the beach, looted all the boats, we swam across, and we're now on Skalisty Island. So just so that you know for reference where we've been and where we are, and let's just pick up looting again. I'll try and remember to do that every time. If I forget, please by all means tell me in the comments. Just after you tickle that like button for me. Will help me out no end. Very much appreciated. If you've got binoculars or a rangefinder or a scope on a rifle, you might want to come across here. A little bit of lag, I apologise. You can have a look down onto the beach where there are some houses. The well is down there. We're going to go there eventually. But I don't think we've got anything to scope in, have we? That's what we're looking for over here. Beware of zombies spawning around this building. Have a look in the window, see if you can see any player movement. No smoke coming out. Look out for bear traps. It's a little bit laggy for some reason. And the back door is locked. So I'm just going to sit here a minute. Sometimes the game can just be a little bit laggy. It can be your internet. It can be the server itself. It's just one of those things you've got to put up with when you're multiplayer online PC gaming, I'm afraid. Or even on console. But if you find a locked door like that, usually the other door will be open and they've locked both doors and now they've left. And they've just left one of the doors locked. But beware, if you go around to the other side and it's still locked, there's either someone in there or they logged out in there probably. So let's hope this lag doesn't continue, but we'll plug on. And as you can see, the door is open. They're very laggy though, unfortunately. Like I say, what can you do? Close the door behind us. We've got some chainmail. I'm not interested. I'm on edge in case there's a player up here still. It doesn't look like it, but they can hide behind the doors. And look at that. A blaze. Which shoots 308. It's got one in the chamber. It's got a nice little red dot, if you like, at the end of the iron sight as well. This is a very powerful rifle. It used to be extremely powerful, but don't get it twisted. This will still knock a lot of players unconscious with one shot. If you've got two in the chamber, you can press X on your keyboard to turn it into a double shot, exactly like you can do with a double barrel shotgun. Make it even more powerful, but we've only got one bullet at the minute, so we'll leave it on single. And I'm going to sacrifice the pipe, and I'm going to use that slot there for the blaze. And I'm going to put it down here, so it's close range weapon, pistol, long range rifle, and one of these crappy little stone knives will have to be our zombie killer for a second. But that's a really nice find. We're looking for 308. We're looking for a hunting scope to go on it. We're looking potentially for a gun cleaning kit because it's badly damaged, but it's a really nice find. But that's the pub done. We leave. And what I like to do, remember we're doing this in a clockwise motion. Put the gun away. Just here I like to cut across, okay? You can follow the path if you like. But because I've done this so many times, I cut across slightly because I'm giving myself a bit of cover in these woods. Most people will stick to paths, believe it or not, and roads on DayZ. If you stay slightly to the left or the right of a road or a path, use the trees as cover. Yeah, we're still quite visible with our bright blue hockey helmet on. We're looking to change, actually, as soon as we can. Stay off the beaten track is what I'm trying to say. Long-winded way of saying it. If you just scan ahead, you can see we've gone a bit low. I don't want to be down at the beach. I want to come up to this shed, as we're still sticking a little bit to the edge clockwise. Here we go. Here's the shed we wanted. Zombies will spawn in that field. Don't be surprised if you see 3 or 4 just hanging about. And while you're here, have a look. See if you can see someone fishing. See someone running around down there. Maybe smoke coming out of the houses. I'm tempted to relog. My character seems to be lagging all over the place. And it's a little bit annoying, I've got to be honest. Try not to whinge during these videos, but we found a rangefinder. Lovely. We've got a battery here as well, which we can put in the rangefinder. And now we can use it. not only to scope in and see if we can see any players, but it'll give you, see the red number there? It'll give you the range. Right, so if I saw a player on the lighthouse, that's telling me they're 350 meters away. If I had a scope on my blaze, I could look down sight. This single shot now is only ranged to 50 meters. See the bottom left-hand side of the screen? The indicator, blaze, single, 50 meters. If I press up, page up on my keyboard, I can range up my rifle, but this one will only go to 200 meters. So you'd have to aim high and hope to catch him with a headshot. Very difficult shot. Make sure you aim down sight by just, for me, it's clicking right button once. You can do it another way, but I've just gone into my key bindings. One click is aim down sight for me. Hold right button is ADS, but one click is fully aim down sight. Page down again to 50 meters, because if someone runs around the corner now, I don't want to overshoot because it's ranged to the wrong distance. So always remember to range your rifle back down. Excuse me a second. We just had a black screen there, so you think you saw that your end as well. More buckshot. We managed to get through 2 videos of the series without any technical issues, and we bring up the Eyes of Ive map, and it's almost as if the game is telling me, no, work out where you are yourself, stop cheating. Giving me all sorts of problems. So I'm going to put the Be Right Back Up screen on. I'm going to relog. I'm going to pause the recording, and I'll be right back with you in a second. I won't even put the screen up. I'll just tab out. Give me a sec. All right, sorry about that. I've logged out and logged back in, hoping it will fix the stuttering and the performance we've had. But we're leaving this shed. We're going up the hill. You can see the deer stand that I'm aiming for. I'm looking out for zombies, players. So far so good, it's quiet. And this path, this identical path, is the same one I take all the time. I'm pressing C on the keyboard to crouch so we don't aggravate that zombie. Looking for bear traps, and then climbing the ladder. If you hold shift, same as sprinting on land, you'll climb the ladder quickly. And, well, I can't wait for the comments below from the regulars to say that we have just scripted in a box of ammunition for the blaze rifle we recently found. So there's the ammunition, 308. Here's the blaze. We're now going to put a second shot in it, ready to go. So if I see a player now, I've got 2 shots on single, I can go boom, boom. Particularly if you've got wonky aim like myself. You miss that first shot, you've got another one straight away without having to reload or rechamber. And the blaze is a good hunting rifle with a scope on it, but at close range, it's basically like a very powerful shotgun that instead of shooting slugs or buckshot, shoots 308. I've got many kills within 100 meters, well, within 50 meters usually, in my case, with this gun, because it shoots a very powerful round. And finding a box of its ammunition is absolutely clutch. So you see the pathway? I'm just taking a little bit off to the left. Nothing down there. It's a shame nothing spawns on the shipwreck that's just off the coast. It's just there for aesthetic reasons. We're following this path all the way down towards the back of the island, where you will come across a singular house. And if you were playing with an experienced DayZ player and they were up ahead of you and they said, I've seen a player, they're at the stilted house. I think it's red. They're at the red stilted, or the green stilted, or the brown stilted. This is the type of house they're talking about. I believe this one's red. So I'm going to start crouching as soon as I see the roof, because if someone's in there, I don't want them to hear my footsteps. So I'm crouching to this tree. I've forgotten to hotbar my rangefinder as well. I really want that hotbarred. And I'm looking. Can I see a player? Can I see smoke coming out of the chimney? But that design of building is called the stilted. There are usually 2 or 3 zombies. Here comes the rain. We're getting the Welsh weather here now in DayZ. Excellent. Yeah, see that zombie? He looks pretty chill, I think. Yeah. not as if they've been recently aggravated by a player. Their elbows would be pointed up, and they would be on high alert if they had been. And I'm still not assuming anything, especially with a locked door. Go around the other side. It's open, but the other one's shut. And it's clear. Okay. Someone was here, though. Road signal flare's rubbish. The hunting pants are really nice. Now, it's a bit of a risk taking them badly damaged, because one hit from a zombie would render them ruined, potentially. But if we find duct tape or a sewing kit, we can fix these up, and they're really good. 20 slots, and when they're worn or pristine, they'll give you either high or, I think it might even be best insulation. So we're definitely taking them. What's this over here? 22. No, it's a can of dog food. Beautiful. You have to eat it in the same way as the unknown food. Remember the clock method from the last episode. But there's nothing else to loot now here around this area, so we're moving on. Nothing over there, so we're following the path out. But because I know the island like the back of my hand, I'm just going to sprint. New players who haven't been over here before, just look for the beach. There you go. Look for the coast. There is a caravan up here somewhere, but I never loot it. I never bother. See those ruins? We're going basically the other side of those ruins to the coast. But I'm on guard. There's been a few locked doors in buildings, meaning players have been over here looking for the lovely loot like the blaze that we've got now and the ammo. We're still cold. But we're not in bad shape. Other than our temperature, we're doing okay. Now I like to hug the beach. See if I can see an obvious fire or anything like that. Come round here. Now start scanning ahead. I'm on PC, so use the mouse wheel, click it in. I'm scanning ahead. You could even get your rangefinder out now if you want to, or your binoculars if you're lucky enough to have found some. Can I see someone on the lighthouse? Can I see smoke out of that building? Someone just running along the tree line there. Just a little look. It's really nice to have that option. Some people like to make a stash. You can find tents, improvised shelters. You can make improvised shelters on DayZ. I've actually seen them before, jammed in between the rocks there. So when I come up to here, I always turn around and look behind me in case I've missed a barrel. A barrel is another good stash. You can make your own wooden crates as well. Can I see anyone walking towards me? I can see a zombie, I think, or two zombies just chilling, having a chat. Remember, this is the same route I do all the time, clockwise around the island. Another fishing hook. We're absolutely overburdened with fishing hooks, to be honest. I never thought I'd say that on DayZ. Another shamog, same as the one we've got. It's dry. I mean, it seems a little bit pathetic, but we're just going to put it on because it's dry for a second. I mean, why not have a little bit more comfort? Oh, there's one of those big dry bags I was talking about. It's a horrific colour. Not exactly camouflage, is it? But see, it would give me 7 more slots than I have now, but it's a personal preference and a matter of choice. I'm just going to leave it. We could fix it up with some duct tape. A sewing kit wouldn't work on a dry bag. You would need duct tape. We could fix it up, but it's really bright blue, isn't it? Like a cyan colour, whatever you call that. And if you're trying to hide in a bush, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb. So not for me. You do you. I'm on my guard now. There could be someone in this house. There could be bear traps. There's a heat pack. I mean, while we've got space, we'll activate it. We'll put it in our pants. Just for a little bit of comfort. Why not? It'll ruin over time. After about 2-3 minutes of giving off heat, it'll ruin. Just throw it away. Just a pipe. I'm going to loot this house. I'm looking ahead, though. I don't want any nasty surprises. Shut the door behind me so we can't get sniped easily from behind. And there's a nice find. A hunting scope for the blaze. Wow. We've been very lucky over here today. Use the wheel of your mouse with a hunting scope to go in and out. And there's also a good hunting knife. It's pristine as well. We've now got an excellent melee weapon, like really good. This heat pack is putting us on white temperature while we're indoors, which is nice. I'm going to go with the close quarter IJ though, because, you know, hitting a dream no scope with the blaze, you'd have to be a bit lucky. And see that plus symbol next to the word hoodie? Tells me there's something inside the hoodie. It's a battery. Spare battery for the rangefinder, why not? Now we're going to go up towards the lighthouse. We're going to go via the shed. We're looking behind. Can I see a fire in the building? Can I see anyone at the well? Not clearly. Watch out for bear traps. Nothing in here. I always by habit search this boat so I don't have to do it on the way down. There's a Zagorki peanut bar. A little bit of food for us. Nice. I'm just going to smash that down now so we don't have to carry it. Just eat it. I'm not practicing as I preach. I'm holding on to the dog food and unknown food. I mean, I'd rather eat it, to be honest. But we're just going to hold it for now. I should have eaten it to make space, though. I'm not practicing what I preach. I always miss the lighthouse out first. Go to the back here. There's a shed. Can spawn hunting loot. It's just spawned a dry sack. Great. Now climb this lighthouse. Most lighthouses on the Chinaris will not spawn any loot at all. And they're only a good way to get a new spawn, really, if you want to throw yourself off them. But this one can spawn hunting loot, ammunition, clothing, all the good stuff. So climb this one. I'm holding down shift to climb quicker. And then I'm looking on the floor. There's a hat. I'm actually going to take that hat. And I'm just tabbing in my inventory, and there you go. I might have missed those slugs otherwise, but some green slugs for a shotgun. We haven't got a shotgun yet. To be honest, I probably wouldn't pick one up now. This can be a bit fiddly. Hold F to get on the ladder, and then hold shift and you'll slide down quicker. Shift and S. Sure, I could use something then. To my left. Sorry. I'm scanning ahead again. Has someone been trailing us? Is someone going to line up a shot? I don't think I could see any movement or anything over by those houses. That's where we're headed next. We're going to loot some boats on the way and hopefully not aggravate any zombies. But yeah, with a blaze and a box of ammo, I don't know whether I would pick up a shotgun now. It would be a really good close quarter weapon. But the IJ is not too bad, suppressed, and we've got plenty of 380. We could do with a gun cleaning kit to fix the IJ up. The magazine was pristine, so should be fine. Remember, the worse condition your gun is in, the more likely it is to jam in a gunfight. Put you in a terrible position. Some guns cannot jam, like revolvers and certain rifles, particularly the single loading rifles. We're finding a lot of chocolate and peanut bars here. Our dietitian's not going to be very happy with us, but whatever. And I might, you know, I'm being a bit blasé. I could have crept up to these houses in case someone's in them, hiding. But yeah, my gameplay style is a bit blasé, I've got to be honest. This is a great find. It can fix up a stab vest, but it's not damaged. But it can also fix up a rider jacket, which is damaged. So we're going to use the leather repair kit on the leather jacket. It makes sense. Like I said in part 1. Usually, DayZ does what it says on the tin. Usually. We can only fix it up to worn. Remember, you can't get it up to pristine. But you can fix your shoes as well with a leather kit. From damaged to worn. So it'll buy us a bit more time before we can get some new kicks or some boots. I probably should keep hold of it. If I wanted to make the room, I could by eating my food, blah, blah, blah. So you do you. If we get in a gunfight, someone knocks our stab vest or a zombie hits us and it goes down to damaged. Nice to have one of them on you, but I'm just going to leave it for now. But mess around with your inventory. Get used to creating space and prioritizing things. Now, somebody had a base in here at some point, or tried to make one. Crossbow. It's a nice zombie killer. It comes with an actual bolt as well, by the looks of it. Not an improvised bolt. An actual pristine carbon bolt. You can make your own bolts. Get a long stick, put it in your hand, turn it into short sticks. Combine the short sticks with a blade, and you'll get a prompt to create a bolt. Combine said bolts with feathers, and you'll get something quite similar in quality to this carbon one. Not quite as good, but a lot more accurate and deadly than an improvised crossbow bolt that does not have feathers. You will still probably kill a zombie with one of those, but I'd like to have feathers on my bolts. But by all means, take that crossbow if you want to. I'm going to just prioritize my fishing rod on my back because we haven't got a lot of room. Chlorine tablets are fantastic. You can fill up your water now at a stream and purify the water by holding the pot in your hand of water. Drag that on and it will purify it. You will not get sick drinking said water. This little shed can spawn hunting loot for you as well. GPS receiver, take it by all means if you want to use the in-game map to find out where you are. More chlorine tablets on the well, lovely. Combine them. A lot of things in DayZ will stack, so you can combine bullets up to a certain number. Everything will have a limit, including these tablets, and you'll get to learn what that limit is. More Mosin ammo, 7x5. We've already got the baseball hat of dreams on. And I'm just going to use this opportunity to fill up my cooking pot at the well. I mean, there's always a chance we get sniped in the back of the head, but what are you going to do? Now, there is a shed up at the top of that radio tower. There is a chance of loot itself spawning on the radio tower. But the few times I've climbed up that radio tower, I've been DayZ'd. The game can be a little bit glitchy and buggy at times, and it can just simply throw you off a ladder for no reason to your death. So, for the sake of maybe finding some loot, I always avoid that radio tower. And we're instead going to go to the final building on this island that you are going to loot. And it's basically on the other side of this ridge. Now, I normally cut through the trees to find it, but if you're a new player to DayZ, you've not been over to this island a lot, and you want to guarantee finding this log cabin, then go this way that we're about to go. While we're walking, I'm just going to chip away at some of this dog food. Same as the unknown food. I'm only going to eat it until that wheel goes around to about a third full, or 4 p.m, 4 a.m. There you go, look at that. Put it back in my jacket. But chipping away at it, eventually we'll eat it all. Disappears from the inventory. It's in our belly. We don't have to worry about it weighing us down or taking up valuable inventory space, particularly when we're maxed out almost on our inventory. We haven't got lucky with a big hunting bag. We could have taken that bright blue bag, but hideous colour. So I'm keeping the coast close. And at some point, you're going to see this building. You can't miss it, really. Just over this ridge. I think we might see it. There it is. Okay, there's your log cabin. Good place again to catch a quick fish before you do your swim back to mainland. Or catch a heat buff. Get those plus symbols next to your temperature so that you retain your heat before swimming over. That's a good tip, a good habit to get into. I tend to just wing it. I'm going back on myself again and repeating myself with the lack of patience. It's a running theme here, isn't there? Being careful for bear traps. Players hiding in this corner. Clear. Anything? Another blaze, and it's in better condition than ours. So we unload the bullets. Take off the scope, grab that better blaze, put the scope back on it. Oh, it came with a free bullet as well. Beautiful. The scope says badly damaged. When you look down it, it looks perfect, doesn't it? I haven't tested this theory out yet. Do your own research. Head torch is beautiful as well. put the battery in the head torch. But some people have told me if this hunting scope is damaged, despite it looking nice and clean, it's actually slightly off the crosshair. Put a note in the comments if you're a regular of DayZ and whether you can clarify, confirm or deny that. I don't want to give anybody bad information on this channel. If I don't know the answer, even after like 4,000 hours of playing this game, I'll just tell you straight, I don't know the answer. Does it mean your shot, despite looking dead on, is going to whiff a little bit and you have to counterbalance it, maybe do a practice shot? I don't know. Picked up a new gun, so we need to hotbar this one again. And I want to show you the head torch. It's on my head. Fits in that slot. Put a battery in it. And then if you press L on your keyboard, it's not going to show up very well here because it's not dark. But I'm hitting L on the keyboard and the light comes on. You can just about make it out there up against the door. And I can tell it's a white light. You can get white or red lights on head torches on DayZ. And it's very handy if you want to do a little bit of nighttime ratting about. I've noticed there's one bullet shy from my IJ, which we didn't get a gun cleaning kit for, which is a shame. Just reload it. Get into the habit of having a fully loaded gun at all times. The amount of times I've killed a player on DayZ, whether in attack or self-defense, I've looted their body and found a gun unloaded, yet they have a stack of ammo for said gun in their inventory. It is mind-boggling. I'm actually going to dump the shotgun ammo. I've decided I'm not picking up a shotgun. I'm looking for an M-lock magazine so I can ditch this gun. But for now, we'll carry 2 pistols and a blaze, one of which hasn't got a magazine. We could use this opportunity, and I probably will at the start of the next episode, to cook our chicken here, get the heat buff before we swim back over, and I show you where I would generally go before going. Yeah, where I usually go from here. We may have a look at that now, actually. I'm going to drop the heat pack because it's going to lose its heat eventually and be ruined. And we're going to get a fire at the start of the next episode to cook our chicken. I want to eat this all the way around to half. So soon that'll go. Soon we can eat that. Mosin ammo. I'm keeping all the ammo that I want. That's going to be potentially very good. We're not going to carry a crossbow, so I'm dropping the feathers. We're going to eat the chicken, so that's going to go. A lot of this stuff is going to shortly leave our inventory space, which is going to be nice, particularly the food. And yeah, the chicken. Pieces of chicken. We can put some more stuff then into the pot to protect it. We haven't got anything to fix up our clothing. But let me switch quickly out again to that map view before we end the stream. We've looted Skalisty Island. This is where we're finishing the episode. So we're going to swim back over, and there are some houses I told you about opposite the jetty. We can have a look at them. And then there's a route through the trees to this little town, Tulga. We're probably going to go there next. Now, don't panic. We're not going inland yet. We can do. Let me know in the comments. Do you want me to hug the coast and show you more of the coastal towns like Solnichny, Three Valleys, Nizhny, I believe the next one is called. Yeah, Nizhny. Then Berezino. Dirty Berezino. Do you want me to show you more of the coastal looting? Or do you want me to go from Tulga to actually do something a bit more intermediate and go inland towards Mista, Staroy? And you're talking about probably going towards Novi Stary and the Northwest Airfield. Let me know in the comments what you want us to do, at the same time as hitting that like button to help out our peasant little channel, help us get some notice on these videos and maybe pick up some more subs as we push towards 5k. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope to see you in part 4. Peace out. Bye-bye.